What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan.
Hey,
and
we'll call you right back.
Welcome to Cowboy, the Cowboy Huddle podcast. And here we are, Monday night mic'd up. Give it up. Yeah. What's going on here? And we are joined by our very own PR Cowboys in the house. We got Football Junkie, and we got Cowboys Corner in the house. Give it up. Also, we got Fleabug as our moderator. She's back there. She's gonna keep us on script and make sure we fall in the guidelines. So here we are, guys. Monday night mic'd up. A recap of Saturday night Cowboys versus Ravens. Give it up. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Football Junk? Good to have you back, brother. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm at the office right now, man, and it's hot.
Oh, my. Tell me about 104 degrees here, man.
It is hot. Not hotter than this Cowboy mess, but it's hot.
Oh, we finna get into it. PR Cowboys. Good to have. Give it up for PR Cowboys. He's back.
What's up, fellas? I missed some time. Work life gets to you, but we're back in action, and they've got one more preseason game to go. And either way, how you feel about it, it's coming.
All right, then we got Cowboys Corner in the house, holding it down. What's going on, Cowboys Corner? How you feeling, brother?
What's going on, you guys? Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. We got Jeffrey Summers in the house. That's my brother by another mother. Give it up. Where is he at? There he is. Brother Jeffrey's in the house. All right. And we got Roxanne. You don't have to turn off your red light. Hello, Roxanne. Give it up for Roxanne, please. All right. So, yeah, man, here we are, man, on Monday Night Mic'd Up. I know we usually do this on Wednesday nights, but schedule conflict. But the great thing about this, we're able to move around and make this thing happen. Again, like I say, everything that we post is not for clickbait. We are fans first, and then we report the news that you can use. So that's what it's all about. So we are fans first. We come together in the Cowboy Huddle, talk about our Cowboys, and guess what? We're going to report it to you first. So here we are. So let's get right on into this. What we got going on. Come on, let's go with some news you can use real quick. Moderator, if you got it backed up for me. So we're gonna dig deep down into this situation we just had. So with the first one, guys, if y'all hadn't heard, well, we're gonna say goodbye to someone. Cowboys cut wide receiver Trayshawn Holden in the 53-man roster prediction after preseason week number 2. That's what I said. That's
That's the speed we could have kept.
Well, evidently they saw something that we didn't see. PR Cowboy, what do you think about us cutting Trayshawn like that, man? I mean, it's only week 2.
Yeah, after losing Mingo for some time, you figured, hey, this kid adds some more speed to you and something that you can, use on this. If you're going to use this motion like what you're talking about, I feel like as a guy that, probably could have had a role somehow if somebody goes down or something. But it is, like you said, whatever our player personnel guy is seeing, he makes the call. So whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Now, I know for sure. Okay, wait a minute. Before we get started, we got somebody else holding down the East Coast. Give it up for Chip Game Sports TV. Give it up. Yee! What's going on, Chip?
You are now rocking with the best, Chip Game Sports TV and the whole crew on Monday Night Mic'd Up. Let's get the mics up.
That's what's up. How you doing, my brother?
Loving it, chilling, upset about the team, but we living in life.
Hey, we finna dive deep into it. So, I was just sharing with everybody on the panel that we did cut undrafted free agent Trayshawn Holden. So you just now coming in. So what do you think about that cut? I guess it's finna start happening. What do you think? Is there something that we should have, at least gave him a third week or? or should he?
You,
Should we
you
be
know,
getting?
I'm be honest, G. I really don't know what we should do at this point because whatever we do, we seem to be a step or two behind, as is the case with this here, what we got going on. I'm lost for words. I'm baffled, and as we go on, I'm gonna be trying to figure out what should I say about this dismal position we find ourselves in as Dallas Cowboy football team.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that with that being said, also Cowboys corner, let me ask you this: because of the poor play of the quarterback position of Joe Milton, is this fair for the receivers? For a receiver to be cut down, and we got a quarterback that can't even give him the ball. I mean, what do you think?
Where did you get the news that Trayshawn Holden was cut?
Well, this is what has been reported.
By who?
Yeah, let me tell you right now. Let's see here. We got right here. Yeah, now this is the Landry hat. They usually come up with some good information, good resource. So,
did you read the title or did you read the article?
Because
I'm not seeing anything that says Trayshawn Holden got cut on my end.
Oh now, man, well, I hope you are right. Well, we'll go with that.
Now, I am looking at. Now they did make a move 3 hours ago. They moved. Yeah, Trayshawn Holden. So they signed this cornerback named Michael. I'm going to mess up his last name. And they put quarterback Bruce Harmon waived injured. That's the only move that they've made today. Trayshawn Holden is still a Dallas Cowboy.
Well, I sure hope you're right because this is exactly what they're saying right here. But okay, that's fine. But we'll see what happened. But I hope that is fake news because I just don't think it's fair for you to be even cutting any receivers right now, football junkie. I mean, when you got a quarterback that can't even get these receivers the ball. So I mean, do you think? I mean, how do you think the receivers are feeling right now, knowing that you got one more week?
All this hype and hoopla that they wrapped around Joe Milton because of that one game that he played with New England last season in a scrub situation. This basically a sign and show of another situation where we're not putting nothing behind our quarterback to push our quarterback.
Well, hold on. Well, I don't. Yeah, I guess that's fair to say. We don't want the competition. I guess that's fair to say. I mean, PR Cowboy base. That's what it's looking like, right?
There's two things. There's that, and then there's the you've known your quarterback hasn't made it through a full year. Last year being injured and getting older. Why would you not put the best option behind him to try to come in to win a few games?
Yeah,
and that is what I'm not understanding here. This situation, the kid has a strong. I said, well, we hear all season, strong arm. How many guys have we heard that with? Jay Cutler, you hear these with these guys with strong arm. Yeah, put some touch on the ball though, and put some accuracy is the main thing. But I just feel like we're going into the season without any true backup
prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's even better. Okay, so they got it. He was cut. But if it's so they're predicting that he will be cut.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay. Well, that's great because it's not fair. Like you said, PR Cowboy, it's not fair. So go ahead, finish, brother. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I know. I'll just finish up here by saying, like, after 2 games, we're going in with a big question mark at number 2, and with none of our starters, he's going to play game 3. We're not going to play our starters game 3, and it's just like, how much more are you going to put it? I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a bad situation.
It's a whole debacle right now. And when we go back and we talked about this next topic about, I don't know what you guys think, but I want to ask you about this. On this next topic we got is about this running back room. I mean, again, we're still not seeing a full production of our running back room. We got Javonte Williams that's sitting on the side. We got Miles Sanders that, I don't think he's, where he needs to be, or I didn't see nothing spectacular. I see more out of Miles Davis. Malik Davis than I do
Malik Davis.
all these guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this running back room, football junkie, is it fair to say that they're getting a great opportunity to showcase the tech? Again, remember, these individuals are working for, they're playing for a job, and we can't run the ball, we can't throw the ball. So is it fair to, and here we are, we sitting Javonte Williams out, and then we got Jaden Blue. We don't know what's going to happen with him as far as, his situation. So where are we going with this running back room, football junkie?
Man, hey, the running back room it's we can't see what these guys can actually do behind these 2s and 3s, because these 2s and 3s playing like they still in college or even high school. I mean, they not even performing on the offensive line to their ultimate best, so that we can basically see what these dudes, or get a flicker of a flame of what these dudes can bring to the table, because there's no output on the offensive line.
Yeah. Campbell, what do you think about this running back room, man, and the lack there, the lack thereof?
I'm not concerned. We haven't got to look at Javonte Williams. We haven't got to look at Phil Maffa. Or excuse me, Jaden Blue. We haven't got to look at these cats yet. Javonte Williams already going to be the starter. Phil Maffa's nursing the ankle injury, or the foot injury, I guess is what it is. And he's a speedster. He was looking good before he got hurt. The biggest thing is the offensive line played well, and that wasn't the starters against these Ravens. So as long as the offensive line can play well, Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue, they should be able to run the ball.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Chip, about this running back room?
Absolutely. I'm thinking Williams and Blue. I still wish I could have saw a little bit more from Deuce, but I don't know if I would let Deuce loose. I'll go ahead and keep him. And let's run Williams, Blue, Deuce, and of course the fullback. And play will make something happen, I think, if we could get the offensive line moving some things.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. You mentioned Deuce. Deuce is an afterthought, because if he wasn't, they wouldn't have brought in Malik, man.
That's true too.
Well, Malik got in because Jaden Blue and Miles Sanders are hurt, so they had to get somebody else in here to fill in a roster spot, basically. But speaking of Malik Davis, exactly, like a 90-man roster spot.
You always
not a 53-man roster spot. Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that, but
yeah.
But
don't read into those tea leaves too deep. Malik Davis won't be on this 53.
Well, shit, Malik
don't be surprised. Malik's showing a lot of pop.
Yeah, but again,
he'll be popping on someone else's roster, not on this one.
It's a business, and that's where we are, man. We have noticed what Jerry Jones has said, that he loves controversy, and if it gets slow, he's going to find controversy. So right now, so that's his job. Is to look at the brand. It's more about the brand. This team used to be built off of grits, Chip, and now we're in glitz and glamour. So I'm from the 70s and the the 80s and even the 90s. I've seen what the grit used to look like with the Cowboys, and now we are with the glitz and glamour. So now, and I know we're saying, and you see the title, Joe Milton will be named quarterback 2. Let me give it simply because he's getting another start. Now, he's starting this game as well. If y'all didn't know, he will be starting for the 3rd week. Now, again, and I know we all have questions, but I want to play this audio clip from Brian Schottenheimer. And the question was asked, he's talking about using the 7-iron. Well, we're going to go through the preseason just using the 7-iron. We're just going to play the whole game in the 7-iron. But this question was asked, and then I want you guys to hear this audio and see what he had to say.
going to hit the driver well on the course?
Well, you
Let
have
me
to
back up
evaluate how
just
you
the
do
pack.
in some of your practice rounds, and you look at the practices we've had against team. I know I'm excited to be back here. A little bit more of a routine. I kind of know where everything is. It's comfortable, and I think the biggest thing is just we've got a couple days to figure out this routine as we're getting back into it. We'll still be a little bit in training camp mode. Schedule's adjusted a little bit, the next 2 days because of the night practices. But as far as Mike is concerned, I don't think there'll be many changes.
And then you talked about it's an evaluation period and the 7-iron stuff. If you don't take the driver out on the range, how do you know if you're going to hit the driver well on the course?
Well, you have to evaluate how you do in some of your practice rounds, and you look at the practices we've had against the defense. And, I think we've got all of the offseason program to look at, OTAs. You've got all of the training camp practices to look at. And, again, it's a philosophy. And
All right, so it's a philosophy. So what we're hearing is basically his evaluation method is by practices. We're going to evaluate in practice. I've seen enough. And he goes on and he's asked a question, will Joe Milton be the starter in week 3? He said yes. He said, well, how is it that you're continue looking at Joe Milton, but you have Will Greer? He said, well, we know Will Greer. And the way he said he knew Will Greer, Chip, is by the practices. Wait a minute.
We ain't talking about a game.
No, we're not talking about game. We know Will Greer and a lot of these guys, he starters from practice. So, yeah, this is his evaluation method. That's what we just heard. And the guy asked, so how are you going to know what your driver can do if you don't use your drivers? Basically saying his starters getting a few series. I heard Bubba Dub say, he looking at Joe Burrow starting. He's looking at Jordan Love starting, and he want to know why Dak and these starters are not playing. So, Chip, what do you think?
Well, I think it's the wrong. These are not the right ingredients that you need as you want to go into your regular season. You need some reps. Like you say, Barrow's out there. I want to believe Mahomes was out there this week. Fields was out there. So many starters were out there in the pads. On the grass, making tackles, making throws, running the ball. And this is what you need because practice, you're just running through it. And and as far as our practices are concerned, I'm sure we're playing more music than we are, thumping out there. You're not thumping like you were with Jimmy Johnson, with Tom Landry. You can't do that anymore. So practice ain't even practice. It's just a glorified run through these days.
Yeah.
So you can't get what you need running through.
Yeah. Football Junkie, what do you think about this evaluation method? We know Will Greer, and the question was asked, so how are you going to evaluate Will Greer? He said, well, we know Will Greer, and then, like he said, knowing that he doesn't have a lot of game time. So how are you going to evaluate Will Greer? And he said, well, we know him through practice. So what do you think, Football Junkie?
That's hogwash. They ain't giving that guy a chance, man. And exactly. And the few minutes or seconds that he does play, he looks very uplifting compared to Joe Milton. He really does. His ball comes out with some zip. It's on target. It ain't behind nobody. He's leading the receiver. He's delivering the pass.
So
Joe Milton is the second coming of Jamarcus Russell.
So let's talk about starting with Cowboys corner. Let's talk about Joe Milton's production and what you've seen so far. So fill us in. What do you think from what you have observed in these past 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, he's RG knee. All right, that's a replica of RG3, and that RG knee is after RG3 got hurt.
Yeah.
So Milton's already in RG3's hurt phase. So he's Milton's RG knee. All right. And so he's not seeing the field. He can't throw a touch pass. I mean, he does throw a couple of good balls every now and then, but guess what? So can I, right? So, at the end of the day, he's not an NFL quarterback. This is a Trey Lance 2.0 project. He only has Joe Milton only had 150 snaps at Tennessee. He goes into to the Patriots, barely plays any of the preseason last year. He played the Week 18 game against the Bills, so that's his resume. Cowboys trade for him, as my boy Uncensored would say, armed robbery. As I like to say, no arm robbery, because Joe Milton does not have an arm. And he has the best highlight reel, but everyone has a good highlight reel. I could have a good highlight reel, but you look at this from a coaching standpoint. Schottenheimer needs to make the statement: if this is about winning culture, if this is about compete every day, you need to let Will Grier compete against Joe Milton. If not, you're farting in the wind, and it's headed my direction. If our motto is compete every day, let Will Grier compete against Joe Milton, because Joe Milton looks like the Philadelphia Eagles. Hot shit. All right.
I tell you what, boy, they making boy, Philadelphia is riding us like, whoo, they riding us pretty hard. Hey, let's get into something, and we're gonna finish this Joe Milton, but I want to hear some of the comments that we have out there. So let's go to some of these comments, moderator, if you don't mind. Let's see what we got going, because I hadn't had a chance to read everybody's comments, and we're gonna continue on this Joe Milton. Why in the hell we're not playing Dak in preseason? Yes, hey, PR Cowboy, why aren't we playing Dak?
I don't know, because we talked about it in training camp, where this coach is saying compete, be physical, all these things. Everything in the preseason does not add up to what he's been saying. Nothing adds up, because we've talked about this. Training camp is not what it used to be. You need game reps now. We're limited to 3 preseasons now. I see Patrick Mahomes playing in the first preseason game. So we already know it takes till October, November before you start getting that. Okay, you start seeing better defense, right? You start seeing better play out of teams, better because of the limited opportunities you have as it is. Yeah. And if you're talking to be competitive and none of this adds up, because one thing is you play the first game of the season Thursday night. You don't play Sunday night. You don't play Monday night. You play the first game of the season coming up. Number 2 is you got 2 division games in a row. So don't tell me this ain't already big games in the first 2 games of the season. And we talked about it before, G. I've always been like, you know what, let's, you won't see the real team until October, November. You don't have time for that now, because you need, like you said, you talked about the running back situation. Those running backs need to be out there with the starter and Dak Prescott. Who's picking up blitzes? All this stuff. It just, man, it doesn't. And I told you, I was on the coach's side. I was like, man, I'll believe in this coach when I see the rest of the preseason. He's making me doubt it now.
And that's so true. So, with that being said, football junkie, so maybe Brian is doing something. He don't want to show his hand, and he's going to keep playing this vanilla type preseason. And boy, on September the 4th, woo, we gonna see a whole different team. How much faith you have? Huh? Wait, what? Huh?
Yeah, you're right. You're gonna see a whole different team. All right. Say, I'm like PR Cowboy. These dudes need to be out there on that game field. At least get 8 to 10 snaps of the starters in, couple of series in, because you're going to go into this week 1 game against the Eagles, and these dudes done been slapping pads and been getting dirty and roughing up against these preseason games and stuff like that, getting really tested for the waters. But Cowboys starters, neither on offense or defense, has not been out there in the preseason game. Not yet once at all. There's a few of them sprinkled through there, yes. But for the most part, let them get their mindset on the game intensity that's coming at hand, because that's going to be probably one of the most watched football games for the first couple of weeks of the season. Cowboys-Eagles game, it's going to be a lot of eyes on that game.
Yeah, no, for facts. That is so true. Chip, this might be the game plan. We're gonna hide our hands behind our backs. We're gonna just throw out some slaw out there. But boy, come September 4th, Chip, man, we got a whole different Colin
Hey,
say
hey,
BS.
hey, G, you said it the other week when you said who made this potato salad here? Who made the potato salad, man? I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the year, and it seems like each year more wind gets taken out of me as a Cowboy fan. Because I've been here since Ed Too Tall Jones, Tom Landry. I got about 20 fedoras just because Tom Landry wore one. I followed this team since the 1900s, doggone it. And I got a daughter, 23 years old, who asks me year after year, "You sure you saw them win a Super Bowl?" Now, yeah, baby, I'm sure. I'm sure. But we're not doing the right thing with sitting guys down and not playing. Get guys out there playing for a few series, playing for a whole quarter. Let them smell the grass, feel the grass,
Well,
run in the grass, get tackled in the grass, and let's sling that rock around. Otherwise, we're going to be dry. And I'm going to tell you something about the Eagles. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. We're going to mess around and be on prime time, the only show on that night, and get embarrassed here once again.
well,
I'm switching to the college football game if it get too dirty.
so
I'm
here's
with
the
you.
question then, PR Cowboy. So here's the question. So this is what now. This is Brian Schottenheimer's debut as a first time head coach. And my question is, do he have the leverage to say, without a resume, without a long resume, always been around the game of football, but never have had the experience as a head coach? Does he have the leverage to say? I'm not including Jerry, and if this was his call, but does he has the leverage to say our starters are not playing?
No, no, because once again, you're talking compete. The Javante Williams is new to this team. The whole running back, except for Deuce Vaughn, which we know he shouldn't even be on the team, is new to this team. And none of these guys are playing behind starters to see who really is the best guy to go with in the first week of the season. The other thing is you got a new acquisition in George Pickens with your quarterback, and you're not getting them in sync with each other before this game. So you have no leverage. You should be doing things the opposite of what we have been doing to win over some people, and you're not doing that.
Well, this is, and I'm sure Cowboys corner Jerry has everything to do with this and not playing his starters. But I always say if a scared man can't win, so it's just we have the C.D. Lamb, Dak Prescott. We also have the newcomer. We have George Pickens and Dak Prescott. I think it would be necessary for them to get some type of game, at least a series or two, to be able to get this connection. I mean, what do you think? You think that is something that's maybe needed?
I don't think it's needed. Dak Prescott is 16-12 in December. He's 2-1 in the last 3 years. In a week one, at week one, 2-1 in the last 3 years. A lot of teams don't play their starters. Sam Bradford isn't, or not. I'm sorry, not Sam Bradford. Matthew Stafford, the Baltimore's quarterback. I'm having a stroke. What's his
Lamar
name?
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Yes, thank you. He's not playing. A lot of people ain't playing, guys. Like we can look at Pat Mahomes and we can look at Josh Allen, whoever these guys are playing. We can look at that and say, man, I wish we did that. But you're risking injury, And ever since Tony Romo went down in 2016, after battling those collarbones, he got hit from behind on a scramble drill. Got hurt. If you can eliminate injury and go into week one with the 3-1 record the last 3 years, 16-12 record in September, I'll take that over a serious injury.
I don't know, man.
But he said Dak Prescott record is what in December 16 and what?
In September, it's 16-12.
16-12 in September.
Yep.
Okay, October, November, and December. What happens?
If we're gonna levy this, when I look at that, well, I mean, he's run 36 games the last 3 years outside of last year, so I could pull those records up for you, and I bet it'll be winning. Dak Prescott's never had a losing record, right? So it's going to be winning records in those months.
But they don't mount to a hill of bean if they don't get you to the dance.
Right, and when I look at a 2-5 playoff record, when you boil that pot down, that's the residue left over, right? So, but winning in the playoffs is in January, February. We're talking about September. We're talking about week 1. We're talking about how do you get better in that. By the time you hit October, November, you should already be in rhythm. You should already be in cadence. Everybody should know what they're doing. And if they're not, you're going to be looking like the Cleveland Browns. You're going to be looking like the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're going to be looking at like the New York Jets. So my whole point to bringing up September's record, week 1 record, was it really doesn't move the needle if they play or not.
I kind of see it a different way. I mean, I like Dak, but I mean, again, our offense is under new management. Our whole organization is under new management, and you mean to tell me we don't even know we can't even be productive with a vanilla offense and can't even get in field goal range? Okay, but we're saying that we're taking this vanilla offense and we can't score, but we're going to have we can expect something totally different come first game in September. I think not. And it'd be different, PR Cowboy. If I saw this preseason, and I said this, I don't mind losing all 3 preseason games, but damn, at least have some effort behind the losses at least.
Yeah.
And that's what we haven't seen. So I would be a little concerned and say, hey, let's get these starters out here and see what we got.
Yeah, I think my thing is you got a rookie right guard, you got a running back room of who can do what, which I like. I like what I saw from Phil Maffa from the little that I got to see him. Yeah. I really did. And if it was up to me, it'd be start the year off with Javonte, Blue, and Maffa would be the 3 guys I would go with. But that's my main concern right there is at least get your starting offensive lineman and run your running backs behind that and see what you got. That would be my thing. I'm not making it all about Dak Prescott. I'm making it more about as a offensive line running game situation. That's what I'm more looking at it. And like I said, the only one thing I can take away from these 2 preseason games is the linebackers actually look pretty good, but that's about it. So, but yeah, that's my main takeaway from it is getting the offensive line and running game in tune with each other. And like you said, George Pickens, at least a series with him would be helpful. Just to, like I said, it's 2 division games to start off right away. So.
Right. So moderator, if you could bring up something, we got a lot of comments there. I want to see what we got, and we're going to get into this running the ball and stopping the ball. So we're going to get into that next, but let's see what we got as far as some of these comments we got up here. If you just start somewhere, we'll kind of, Thomas Johnson said we have to be the only franchise and fan base that spend this much energy on players that would be on the field in September. What do you think, Chip?
Energy. Are we spending a lot of energy as far as the fan base? I don't know. With me, my energy's all spent. I'm just spinning wheels, thinking in my mind. My main thing is I'm concerned about death. We don't have death to begin with.
What position?
To me,
secondary.
Cornerback, you can start right there. That's secondary-ish thing. But when I look at our 2s and 3s, if you look at our 2s and 3s, we're not good against nobody else's 2s and 3s that we seen. We don't have evidence of it on tape. You know,
Did you watch the defense last week against these Ravens?
We gave up 300. Wait a minute. We gave up 399 yards.
Did you watch the tape on it?
It ain't nothing to look at. 399 yards.
Sam Williams was. I got to show you some tape on Sam Williams, G. Hampton.
I don't want to see tape. We gave up 399 yards.
No. Not we. Sam Williams. No, Sam Williams. He was playing like he'd never played football before. He would go to the right to go. He's playing on the left end. He would go and then cut all the way back right, and Cooper Rush is handing the ball off with a wide open hole, right down the line. The tape don't lie. The tape don't lie. Sam Williams was hot trash against them Ravens.
Single-handedly. Not only him.
Shoot.
It was 399 yards we gave up, guys.
We got turnovers. You're not looking at the preseason as a competition. You're looking at the preseason as an evaluation.
What is there to evaluate? What are we evaluating?
You're looking at James Houston, how he was able to hit Cooper Rush on the first drive and his technique. You're looking at how Kier Eblum was playing. You're looking at Troy Pride. You're looking at the interceptions that McQuamu made. You're looking at how the running backs are moving, how Tyler Booker looked. You're evaluating those things. So you're not looking at the preseason as a competition. You're looking at it as an evaluation. The score could be 100-0 and we lose. I'm going to turn on that tape and look at our depth guys. I'm not going to say, "Oh God, we lost."
Yeah,
and the whole world's on.
I do the same thing, brother. Again, there, and then we was going to get into that as far as what players stood out, but overall, dude, we have issues, and that's where I was going to get to of running the ball and being able to stop the ball. And if we don't have a true one technique, it's going to be a long season, if you ask me. So if our twos, football junkie, if our twos can't beat their twos, what makes you think our one's going to beat their ones?
But how are you looking at it, though? It all depends on how you're looking at it.
I'll put it to you like this. You say it's not about competition, but it is technically about competition because you're competing for a lock-in spot. Not only are you competing for a lock-in spot, you're competing to debunk the person that's in front of you. So it is competition. It's always competition, no matter what. Anybody that plays football on any level, except for Pee Wee, they don't understand it all the way until they get up a little older. But anybody that's on a competition.
So he froze, but I will say this:
like they can do better than that start.
When I'm sorry, I must have misspoke. When I say competition, I'm talking about the score. I'm not talking about yes, there's competition in front of them. I can care less about the score. How do you handle the competition in front of you? And there was a lot of good guys that did that. But I'm evaluating them and with the guy in front of them. So I spoke it wrong. When I say competition, it's scoreboard for me.
And I think we saw a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball because they got a little bit more action. But as far as this offensive side of the ball, and we talking about receivers and quarterbacks and running backs, there was nothing to see. But again, if you want to be technical, giving up 250-something yards in the air, that's a problem. Somebody's not covering. 251 yards, I don't care what you do, but I mean, let's talk about Andrew Booth. Yeah, Andrew Booth, the ball fell in his lap.
Hey, you let even though Cooper Rush knows the team and stuff like that, to a schematic, the leverage and stuff like that, variance, you still don't let Cooper Rush get at you like that.
No, you don't do that.
Cooper Rush ain't all that.
But we have to say this, but let's chill. We got to stick to we're playing vanilla. But if you're giving up 399, it becomes personal to me because I'm sorry. Jimmy Johnson would never allow something like that. I know what you're saying, Cowboys corner, but I'm going to tell you something. One man that hated to lose was Jimmy Johnson. I don't care if it was a scrimmage. He didn't like to lose. So I don't know. Like I say, the football game has changed, PR Cowboy. I don't know, but there was those numbers, those stats, I have a problem with it. And here we are. We're moving into the third week, PR Cowboy, and Joe Milton is going to be your quarterback again.
Yeah. And that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah.
Scary to
I mean,
me. If that goes down, the scary thing is you didn't even keep Trey Lance, and you gave up whatever you gave for him. You give Cooper Rush away, and then you
Oh
bring
my
in
God.
Milton, and Milton, he'll give you about 20 yards per half, and throw a couple of interceptions on you. It's a scary situation. Now, when we talk about evaluation, are we still evaluating him? Because if that's the case for me, let's go ahead and put Grid in, and let's get him some reps, because God forbid that goes down. I need somebody ready, and practice does a little bit, but you're not going to be all the way ready. Give me some reps for Greer, and let's cut Milton and find
But
somebody else.
no, Chip. This is what the coach said. Coach Schottenheimer, Coach Schotty said, we're still trying to learn more about Milton. This is why he's
Same.
going to be your number 2 quarterback. You don't give this guy this many opportunities and you cut him. So somebody has said he will be our number 2. So let's get him ready in preseason. That's the only thing I can think of, Cowboys corner. He's going to be your number 2 quarterback.
I wouldn't say that confidently. I just wouldn't. I think when they're really trying to look at Joe Milton and see what they have in him. Obviously, they traded for him. They want to do their due diligence and look and see what they got. The third quarterback on the roster doesn't count as a roster spot. The emergency quarterback doesn't count. So when Schottenheimer made the comments today that we know what we have in Greer and we're still evaluating Milton, that's 100% accurate, because you don't know what you have in Milton. And so
yeah, we do.
Well, no, you don't. No, you
Yeah,
don't. Because
we do.
no, you don't. Because here's why you don't. He played 150 snaps at Tennessee. He got one start under his belt in the National Football League. He did not play a lot of preseason last year with the Patriots. So you really don't know what you have. So you have to keep giving him reps, and you have to keep evaluating him. Trey Lance is looking better with the Chargers now. And how many years ago was he drafted? How many teams have he been with? So guess
coaching.
what? But teams didn't give up on Trey Lance. They're still
coaching.
John Harbaugh seen something.
Well, yeah,
and Trey Lance to bring him in to back up Haber, right? And so was Mike McCarthy, and so was Mike McCarthy. So when you look at that as a whole, they're still gonna evaluate and they're still gonna mentor Joe Milton, because they traded for him, and they're gonna do their, as Stephen Jones likes to call it, due diligence, and make him the number 3 emergency quarterback, and that's just what it is.
I got a question. Out of all these quarterbacks,
he froze up. He said, out
of all these quarterbacks throughout the years that we've watched pro football, that have been backup quarterbacks that have came in and assumed starting position quarterbacks and have excelled and exceeded, because they sat on the sideline for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. But dude, what are you learning over there on that sideline while you're a backup, dude? Even when you was in New England. I know New England's quarterback coach is not trash, because New England came on with it towards if they played some formidable football throughout the season. They didn't have a hell of a season, but they played some formidable football. But when you think about these quarterbacks throughout history that's been backups and that have assumed the position as starting quarterback, Steve Berline, Wade Wilson, I can go on and on and on and on and on. These guys sat on the sideline as backups a year or two. Brett Favre even. What was they doing when they was on that sideline as a backup? Them dudes was taking it in, soaking it up. They want to be out on that football field. You know the difference between somebody that wants to be out there on the football field or want to just tinker around on the football field. That dude, Joe Milton, is full of shit. He is trash, man. Straight up scrap, garbage, can, trash, out of there. That dude is trash. Like I'm telling you, the Jamarcus Russell II, man. I'm telling you.
What was your evaluation on Trey Lance?
What was my evaluation of Trey Lance? He was not being given a chance. First and foremost, we already know we got a upside down barbecue pit that was going on with the Cowboys with the head coach and stuff like that. He done pretty much checked out with the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy checked out. We know he checked out. He checked out. They didn't give Trey Lance a chance, dude. You put Trey Lance over here with Harbaugh, a quarterback guru.
You
We
work
seeing
to
a
his
different
strength.
Trey Lance. We seeing a
So
different Trey Lance.
So what we're getting ready to do, we finna redo another developmental years with a new undeveloped quarterback. We finna do that
I'm
all over
telling
again.
you.
Is that what we're
I'm
saying?
telling you. They're
I,
setting it up for Arch, man.
what if Joe Milton's your third emergency quarterback? Are you okay with that?
If he was our third emergency quarterback,
Yeah.
nah.
No.
So you what about practice
I'd
squad?
rather have Cooper Rush than Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Well, anybody would want that. He's 9-5 as a Cowboy starter.
Yeah.
But no,
And
no,
we
no.
did him.
He's
We
not on
did
five
him
on the
dirty.
backs of the defense as a Cowboy starter.
But
Defense won those games.
quarterback
Go
has to
back
do
and look at
something too.
those games. He boo-booed all over the field. The defense bailed him out in a lot of those games, man.
So
He has to do something too.
let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So again, if Dak goes down, and God forbid that he does, and I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays healthy. PR Cowboy, we can call it a wrap. If this is what we're going to go with, and I'm telling you, I understand what you're saying, Cowboys corner. It's not written in stone that he's going to be our second quarterback, but we're wasting time. So what are you going to do? Wait till season start and then bring in another quarterback when you could have been done that now?
No,
I mean,
Will Greer's your second, and Joe
you
Milton
saying
can be your third
Will?
emergency
Will
quarterback.
you saying Will is the second quarterback? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Schottenheimer said today that he
No,
don't need to see anything from Will Greer. He knows what he has.
well,
They're still evaluating Joe Milton.
but again, Will
That's a
Greer.
vote of confidence, low key.
So Chip, again with Will Greer, he has no playing time. So how do we know anything about Will Greer? He has no game time on the field. So Chip, how can we say that he's a number two quarterback?
Comfortable behind Dak. Dak is
That's what it is. That's what it
yeah,
is. Give it
yeah.
up. We don't want to make it a competition at the quarterback. Basically, that's what we're saying. That's where we are. So, yeah, I guess we can go with that, but we're wasting a lot of time. So, Joe Milton will be your third. You will be starting Friday again. So, again, more than likely he's going to be your second. You're going to be your second string quarterback. Yes, sir. What you got, Cowboys corner?
What time are you wasting? This is Dak's first year on his extension. And if Dak goes down and you lose, guess what you do? You build through the draft like the Cowboys like. So even if they go down, and I mean Archie Manning could be in clear eye view. You see what I'm saying? You got some good other offensive linemen in clear eye view. If Dak goes down, the Cowboys are set up for success, and you got the Micah trade in your back pocket to keep getting more picks. So at the end of the day, you got to look at this. For Jerry Jones, it's win it all with Dak, or Dak goes down and we suck it up and have better draft picks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and you know what? And that's your opinion, brother. And I respect your opinion on that. Because we all have opinions on that. So let me get into this before we get out of here. So, Chip, we got a little problem, and we've been seeing this for the last 4 or 5 years, man. As far as being able to stop the run, Chip. I mean, it's like I-35 down here, I-45 right around here. And we talking about almost 200 yards again on the ground. So what are we waiting on?
And I've been saying it for the last few years. You just really, really need a one technique. You need to commit to getting one, and you really need. I don't care if it's a rookie. I don't care if it's a journeyman, a seasoned vet. You have to find somebody, poach somebody else's roster, practice squad, or whatever that is, to find you a big country fed, pork chop eating, biscuit and gravy eating. You need a big fella to come in there to stop up the hole, to push
Big
some
man.
stuff back. You need somebody with bricks in his pockets, and you got to commit to that. We had those lean fellas before with the speed, but now you need some big body bangers. and stop up the gap so the linebackers could do something.
Yeah. Hold on, Cowboys corner. Let me get PR Cowboys what his thought is on this highway to heaven or highway to the nearest bar that we open on this defensive line. I mean, what's going on? I-95.
Yeah, I mean, we've known this, and this has been no secret for years, right? How many years are we going on this that we can't, even if we have a good year, it comes and bites us in the playoffs, right? We're winning games because we're grabbing leads on teams and we're leading our NASCAR package, go get the quarterback, and okay, that's going good, right? But then what happens when you don't have it on offense that day, and the other team can keep the ball away from you and run the ball all day on you, and you just don't. And then there's what was the year where we commit to the run. We're that team. We commit to the run. We keep their offense off the field, our defense off the field, and we play time of possession, and man, it looks good, right? Then you get to the postseason and it's a different ball game, and you get that team that just run all over you, and you just do nothing to fix it year in and year out.
So, yeah, and I totally agree with you on that. And here we are, football. Oh, no, go ahead, Cowboys corner. You had a question before I go to football, Jim. Go ahead and fill in.
Yeah, no. So you got to remember where Matt Eberflus got his principles from. Matt Eberflus got his principles from Rod Marinelli.
Exactly.
Rod Marinelli does not like baconators. He doesn't like big guys. Jay Toa, number 93, is the biggest guy on this defense. This is a gap-controlled defense. You're not going to get the baconator because they want their defensive tackles to go upfield. A bigger guy cannot go upfield. Then they want the linebackers to clean up the other holes, whether that be the B gap or the D gap. That's where the linebackers are going to fill in. So whenever you look at the schematically of Matt Eberflus, Rod Marinelli, they don't like the big guys. They like that gap-controlled D. There was a play on the running game where they were in 21 personnel. The Ravens were in 21 personnel. Cowboys got 8 in the box. Everything, I mean, they played it perfectly to Matt Eberflus' standard. Every gap was hit, and it was a 3-yard loss. So that's how Matt Eberflus is going to attack this run game, by gap control. That's why you got guys like Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray Jr., Maris Luafau. The defensive tackles, all they have to do is get upfield, and the linebackers will clean it up. That's why Bruce Carter, Sean Lee, Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, these old cats, that's why they looked really good linebackers, because that was Rod Marinelli's style. So that's why these guys are really learning from Matt Eberflus to come in here and play that style. I mean, you look at Sean Lee taking on that. Sean Lee would run 100 miles an hour, bam, hit the guard, bounce off the guard, and then go make the tackle. That is what Matt Eberflus' defense is about. So I'm not going to sit here and scream, we need baconators, because that's not going to fit the scheme Matt Eberflus is trying to implement right here in Dallas.
So we're willing to give up those yards. So it's more of a bend, don't break type of defense. That's what you're saying, basically.
It's only a bend, don't break defense is if you get – if it's only a bend don't break defense if they can fill your holes in the Tampa 2. That's basically all it is, the Tampa 2 defense, right? So if they fill the holes in that Tampa 2, then yes, it's bend don't break, because you're going to force them to a field goal inside the red zone, right? And we've seen that. But if they have to be able to control the ball on first and second down, and then third down, you can change it up. Matt Eberflus also likes the blitz. So that's why first and second downs are so important, crucial to that third down blitz, because Matt Eberflus is not scared to dial it up, but it all has to line up perfectly.
Football Junkie, if this doesn't work, Dak Prescott is going to have another 4,500 yards throwing the ball.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'll chuck and jive to the side, man. If the league get a whiff, all they got to do is get a whiff of what that possibly can do with CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, and guess what they're gonna start playing? Keep away. They're gonna
running the ball.
They're gonna punish the defense. They're gonna play keep away, dink and dunk. We're gonna just eat the clock up and beat you like that. We don't want that offense on the football field.
That's a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
And that's exactly the way we should be playing. If you're scared of our team not stopping the run, that's the way we should be playing on offense. Is keep away to help
Exactly.
and look, the best thing I saw out of the Saturday's game was the linebackers. Like you pointed out, Cover Corner, the way they did control gap on something was probably the best thing that I did see in spurts of the game was the linebackers.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Football Junk, you said something got heated today. Something was reported today about what happened today, brother.
Well, Dak Prescott and Michael Parsons had a heated exchange of words. Michael told him not to worry about his contract. He need to be out on the field. And they had exchange of words. And Michael told him, "You already got your contract." He said, "Don't worry about it. If you're out on the field, we need you out on the field." Basically, Dak was basically telling him to quit crying and shut up and come and work and practice with us.
No.
Oh yeah, it got real testy.
Tell me that's not so.
It got real testy.
Chip, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I like it a little bit, and I don't like it a little bit. I'm excited that your quarterback is going to talk some trash, talk some junk. But if Micah says, "Hey, you got paid," so okay, if you got paid, now you feel comfortable. But Micah's probably thinking, "Hey, I get out there and take an injury. Now they want to penny pinch me a little more." So you got to stand your ground, but at the same token, you are under contract. This is a tricky situation here. What do you do? Then you got the NFL Players Association that wants you to set a precedent for those that come behind you. So you're not just doing this for you too as well. So easy for Dak to say when you got a nice heavy duty contract.
Very much. And see, that's the thing, Dak. I mean, Dak is a nice guy, but you got to back your players, man. I mean, you shouldn't even got into that if that's the case, because
what happened now?
Well, we're just talking about the conversation between Dak and Michael Parsons, the heated exchange that they had, and Dak is trying to count Michael Parsons' pockets. Michael, like I told him, get on the field. They need you on the field. I worry about my contract. So that's where it kind of went as far as the conversation between the two. But at the same time, the NFL has created this. How many times have we seen players get paid before their contract expiring? I'm a big thing. I mean, that's just like my job. We just want a contract, 5-year contract. But that's like me. We got one more year, and I'm like, well, I ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna work until you get, but you're under contract. But the NFL has created these owners so they won't get picked up. We're gonna go ahead and sign you to a contract, with a year left on this contract. So the league created this. It's not the players. So now, guess what they're doing? I want my money. So I mean, it's a catch-22 if you ask me, because he is.
When did this happen?
Say it again.
Today. What was the source on it, so I can look it up?
The source was basically Dak and.
Can you not find the Cowboys counter?
No,
I'm not sure if that was NFL
Network. Stop.
Who reported it?
The team is divided pretty much behind this. The team is divided on this situation.
Well, if that's the case, again, I can see it both ways, guys. I can see it both ways. I mean, the guy's still up under contract, and Jared said he's getting paid $24 million to do nothing. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But at the same time, again, like we said, the NFL created this, man. So that's where we are. So with that being said, guys, we got to get ready to wrap this up. We're going to have these folks on here for an hour. But listen, your starter for Friday night is going to be Joe Milton III. Joe Milton III. But Unsil said team isn't as divided as people think. Well, like I said, it's just assumption. We don't know what goes on behind those closed doors, man. But it is what it is. So tomorrow I will be at the training camp, and I'm going to go talk to Dak and Micah myself. And I'm going to sit those guys down, Chip, and I'm going to let them know what
Let them know.
Dak, you got your number one fan, Chip, all the way on the East Coast. He said you got to handle your business. So I'll let them know, and I'll be out there. I'll probably do a couple of live videos. If you're out there tomorrow, come holler at me. I got a couple of stickers that I want to give away, and yeah, maybe we can do a little chat session or something. But okay, before we get out of here, so football junkie done with you. You got any last words before we go?
All I can say, man, let's just cowboy up on this situation, man. That's all I can say.
Chip, what you got?
All I got is I'm DC for life. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to support this team. I believe that something good can happen.
All right, Cowboys Corner, what you got?
Hey, let's wish Joe Milton the best Friday night. And hopefully we can get to evaluate some wide receivers. And hopefully Trayshawn Holden balls out because, he's still on the team.
Yep.
All right, PR Cowboy, what you got before we get out of here, man?
Man, I just, I'm not trying to be a downer for the season. Like I said, it's just a lot of things going on that don't really sit well. But hey, not that far. September 4th, man. I'm still hyped up for the game, and I'm ready. And hey, now that's more suspense of not seeing our starters out there, even though I don't like it. But hey, I'm excited to see them out there first game of the season.
Yeah. Personally, for me, I really was looking forward to seeing the starters play a series, couple of series or something on both sides of the ball. But since that's not going to be the case, what I do want to see, I want to see execution on both sides of the ball. You've had 2 weeks, coaches. I'm putting this on the coaches. This is just my opinion, okay? Don't nobody, I'm just voicing my opinion. You've had 2 weeks, and you had all the training camp, you had all the OTA, had all of this to put something together to be productive. So what I want to see execution on both sides of the ball. I want to see the team play better than we've seen the last 2 weeks. If we see the same thing, guys, I'm worried. I mean, like I said, I don't mind losing, but if we lose in that type of manner, guys, I mean, I have to put this on the coaches because, again, you have to put your players in position to be successful. What do my team do best? If we run out of shotgun, okay, let's put Milton in a position where he can be successful. But again, this game is going to have to fall on the coaches. It's their job to put these players in good situations. So that's what I want to see, and hopefully we look better than what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. So that's my take, guys. So hey, again, do me a favor before you get out of here, guys. Everybody that's watching, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you will be notified when the next video is posted. Again, thank you to everybody on this panel. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Football Junkie. Thank you, PR Cowboy and Cowboys Corner. We appreciate you guys. And until next Monday night, we're going to do it again. We're going to run it back, and we'll do another recap. So with that being said, like I always say, continue to be safe, continue to be blessed, and continue to be kind. Be kind to somebody, okay? Be kind. We need more of that. So let's spread more kindness, all right? And with that being said, we're out of here. Deuces.